Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. It's Canteen Cup Tuesday again, and I thought I would tackle one of the simple things of Southern life, and that is how to make basic grits. And I suspect a lot of people out there who've had grits before or tried it and they didn't like it, that I think that maybe you didn't have it prepared correctly. So today I'm going to show you how I make my grits. And I took all the measurements. Usually I do everything by hand, just guess, by feel when I add the grits in the water. But I did precise measurements so you could recreate this at home using your canteen cup. So I want to talk about a little bit about what kind of grits you should buy. There's stone ground grits, which are usually in a bag, and those are the old style grits, and they're usually more coarse and they take longer to cook. And then there is instant grits like what I have here in this packet. Okay, and then the old saying goes, no self-respecting Southerner will ever eat any instant grits, but I do have a use for these in my kit, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But what first you need to get is a good old 5-minute quick grits, as it says here on the bag. Okay, and they swell up. What it looks like is, let me get a little bit out here in my hand. They're just ground corn is all grits is, okay? And then they swell up to about 4 times their size. So you'll need if you use a cup of water, you're going to need to use a quarter cup of grits. So that's the ratio, 4 to 1. So today we got our grits, our 5-minute quick grits. We've got some butter and salt and pepper. So I'm going to be using 2 cups of water to half a cup of grits, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and about 8 teaspoons of black pepper. And then with the butter, it's going to be 1 tablespoon to start out with, to put in there with it. And then at the end, we're going to add another 1/2 tablespoon to the top as like a finishing garnish. So let me get things set up here, get my cup out, and we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to start with 2 cups of water. 1, 2. I don't have any measuring things for my 1/4 cup of salt or 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but I'm going to kind of guess that that's it right there. A little bit of black pepper, that's about right. Maybe a little more. Okay. Then we're going to throw in our butter. And we're going to take it over to the fire and bring the water up to a boil. Okay, so while that's over there getting ready to boil, let's talk about what I mentioned with the instant grits. The old saying is, no self-respecting Southerner would ever eat instant grits, but I want to tell you, it does have a spot in your pack for those of you who love grits. For instance, with my regular grits here, these are the grits I'm about to pour in there when it gets boiling. It says 5 minutes on the bag, but it usually takes me longer because I cook them kind of low and slow. You want to keep this grits actually from sticking to the bottom of your container. If you cook them too fast, that's the experience I've had. Then you got a big mess to scrape out of the bottom of your pot. But if you cook them nice and slow, you won't have that problem. And with them cooking longer, they absorb more of the water, and you shouldn't have any grits that are kind of chewy. They should be kind of mushy, for lack of a better term, and really creamy. So it usually takes me about 20 minutes. I don't know if I said it or not, but to actually cook regular grits. Whereas with this, it's instant. As soon as you dump the hot water in there, it's done. And I've been in situations where you couldn't have a campfire, and we were running off of alcohol stoves or some kind of stove, and the fuel was limited because of our trip that we were on. So these are a good alternative. Even though the old saying says that, these are good to have in your pack. They're simple and easy. Just add a little bit of spice or seasoning, whatever you want to it, and they are palatable. Not as good as regular grits, but they are good. Okay. So let's go over and check on our pot and see how the water's doing. Okay, so we're at a good boil. You can see the butter's melted in there, which is nice because whenever the grits start to swell and absorb the water, it also takes in that butter, which makes it creamier. Okay, we're going to add our 1/2 cup of grits. Okay. And we're going to give it a good stir here. Make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom. You can see the butter all on top of there, and there's even a little bit of pepper. So I can tell already by the heat of this fire that we're going to have to back this up. See, it's already coming to a hard boil already. So let me reposition the camera here. And we're going to move this cup back a little bit away from the coals. That's still going to be a little hot. There, that's better. Okay, let's give that a try right there. As soon as I get these candles to cooperate. Let's give that a try right there, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, let's give this thing a stir. You want to stir it frequently because it will stick. Look at all that butter goodness on the top. And those grits are sucking all that in there to make them creamier. And we'll put the lid on here, just let it keep cooking. I'm sure everybody will ask about the ham. This is dinner tonight. My brother-in-law brought this, and we've been cooking it for several hours now over this oak fire. It's looking pretty good. Over here's my hammock. And we're in a nice campground in the Ocala National Forest. There's my dad in the orange. And we're really roughing it this weekend. This is his camper. My brother-in-law, Jonathan. And then before I left, I got a package in the mail from Finland. And it was this Polish lavoo. And I put it up for the first time. I'm not sure if I got it put up right, but there it is for the first time. We're just kind of playing with it. So we'll keep on cooking. We'll be right back. Okay, so they're done. Good and creamy. Give you a little shot over here. Now to finish it off, you need to add that last bit of butter, half of a tablespoon, just as the garnish. And I like to throw it on top here and let it melt, and then serve it like that if I'm making it for a bunch of people. Okay, so that's the basic grits. So with this recipe, you can build on it and change it and make and kind of make it your own. A lot of people would like to take a little bit of shredded cheese, put in there and stir it up. I like the Colby Jack type blend. Some people like cheddar, and that really dresses up. Some people like that type of cheese. My father turned me on to using cream cheese. Cut a little bit of cream cheese and putting it in there at the end, letting it melt, and that gives it a really good flavor. My wife likes me to make my grits at home by substituting some of the water. So in this case, I would substitute a quarter, maybe half a cup of the water with some milk or heavy cream, and the rest water, and then make it just like this, like you've seen it, and it makes it even more creamier, and she really enjoys that. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this on how to make basic grits, and I want to challenge you to, if you don't like grits or you've never tried them before, to get out your Canteen cup or use this recipe. I'll put the written recipe at the bottom in the description so you can look it up. And try this at home or try it at camp, and let me know how it goes for you. So thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen today, please click subscribe. Leave me a comment down the bottom if you have a comment or a question. I'll try to answer all my comments on my channel, and also give me a thumbs up if you like this video. So thanks very much from Ocala National Forest. Have a great day.